Imagine standing by an unknown ocean. Dark and mysterious waters lie before you, hiding secrets beneath the surface that will change everything you know. It is the ocean of our knowledge, things that are known and known. According to a National Geographic survey, 77% of Americans believe that we are not alone in the universe and that extraterrestrial life has arrived. This belief is not a simple idea. It is an undercurrent that runs through our society and silences our thoughts, fears, and hopes. But if most of us believe it, why are our governments silent? What are they hiding and why? The silence of those in power is deafening. It's like a hole we're drawn into and wonder what truths lie beyond the surface. Some say the apocalypse, when governments accept extraterrestrial life, is imminent. Some say that the whole UFO thing is a figment of our imagination, a mental construct born of our fears and desires. But what if the truth is more complicated? What if we are on the verge of an epiphany that can define our place in the world? This article begins to venture into the unknown, examining evidence that our governments know more than they are telling us, and considering the profound implications of this hidden truth for the people. The latest UFO phenomenon can be traced back to a fateful day in 1947, when pilot Kenneth Arnold reported seeing 9 distinct saucer-shaped objects that flying at incredible speeds over Mount Rainier in Washington. Arnold's vision caught the public's attention and caused a wave of similar reports across the United States. But what most people don't know is that this is when the U.S. government began to take the UFO phenomenon seriously. In the following years, the military and intelligence agencies launched several top-secret studies, such as Project Sign, Project Grudge, and most famously, Project Blue Book. The goal of this study is to analyze UFO sightings to determine if they pose a threat to national security. However, the declassified documents show that the programs manipulated public perception of the phenomenon, leading many to believe that the government was more interested in releasing UFOs than they were. But why does the government want to hide this knowledge? Why are these strange things so quiet and dark? Some scientists believe that the answer lies in the impact of UFOs on the stability of the universe. The sudden revelation that no one is alone in the world can disrupt governments, religions, and the fabric of society. Delving deeper into the evidence, this theory begins to look more sinister. Throughout the decades, a number of former military and government officials have come forward with startling claims about their experiences with UFOs. These insiders, often at great personal risk, have provided detailed accounts of encounters with unexplained aerial phenomena and the extraordinary measures taken to cover them up. Stanton Friedman, a nuclear physicist who worked for some of the most prominent companies in America, is one such individual. Unlike many of his peers, Friedman chose to dedicate his life to researching and exposing the UFO phenomenon. His work is extensive, publishing over 90 papers on the subject and appearing in countless documentaries and media outlets to share his findings. Friedman has long argued that the UFO phenomenon represents a cosmic Watergate, a cover-up of unparalleled magnitude. He believes that if people dig deep enough, they will find a lot of information in the reports of the NSA, CIA, and other intelligence agencies that will really reveal the life of the world. But why don't we see these studies? What forces are working to keep the truth from being seen? This story is supported by the statements of Colonel Philip Corso, a former intelligence officer of the Army, who said in his book The Day After Roswell that he worked to observe the reactions after receiving the alien technology. From the crash site, the claims of the Roswell-Corso accident are interesting and controversial, suggesting that some of the technological advances of the late 20th century, such as integrated circuits, fiber optics, and the lasers, probably from alien technology. Wasn't the post-war technological boom caused by man? Over the years, many documents have been declassified that show the authorities' intense interest in UFOs. These texts, which have been revised many times, provide fascinating insights into the hidden world where deep and profound phenomena are studied. One of the most powerful evidences is the documents called Majestic 12. The documents, apparently by a group of researchers, military leaders and government officials, describe the recovery of vehicles and foreign bodies. Although the authenticity of these documents is still disputed, they have fueled speculation about the existence of a secret group that has been controlling the UFO phenomenon for decades. Another famous piece of evidence comes from the British government, which in 2008 began releasing its classified UFO files to the public. These include reports of sightings by military personnel, radar operators and even commercial airline pilots. The consistency and reliability of these witnesses adds to the suspicion that something inexplicable is happening in our skies. Then there are the famous UFO tapes recorded by the U.S. Navy. The videos, released to the public in 2017, show military pilots encountering objects that defy known laws of physics, traveling at incredible speeds, and change course and disappear from the radar. The Pentagon's later admission that the videos were genuine and that the objects found in them could not be explained further deepened the mystery. What are these items and where do they come from? Are they the result of advanced human technology, or is it something more than a game? One of the most compelling reasons for government secrecy about UFOs may be in the area of national security. The idea that humans might not exist in isolation in the world is not just a scientific question, it's a question that goes to the heart of national sovereignty and global power. In the early days of the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union were engaged in a fierce struggle for global supremacy. The strange nature of flying objects in the sky is not just a curiosity. This could be a threat. Are these advanced Soviet aircraft items? Worst of all, can they see the alien invasion? The defense's first mission is to assess the threat posed by these materials, which occurred at the previous level of secrecy in the creation of classified programs to investigate and, if possible, seize these materials. But as time goes on, these things don't stay the same, and the government's approach changes. Instead of causing public panic or providing potentially useful information to opponents, it was decided to downplay the situation and, in some cases, harshly criticize those who reported the findings. Although successful in the short term, this containment strategy led to decades of public distrust and suspicion. Another layer in the government strategy for dealing with the UFO phenomenon is disinformation. By flooding the public with conflicting news, sensationalism, and lies, the intelligence agencies have managed to muddy the waters and make it difficult for the public to separate fact from fiction. This technique became popular during the Cold War when the CIA and other agencies used the UFO phenomenon as a cover to test advanced aircraft such as the U-2 and SR-71. By encouraging the belief that extraterrestrials were the source of these discoveries, the military was able to hide its most secret agenda. But misinformation is a double-edged sword, and over time, it has given way to suspicion and paranoia. One of the most striking examples of this is the case of Paul Bennewitz, an electrical engineer who believed he had found evidence of extraterrestrial life at Kirtland Air Force Base in New Mexico. Worried that Bennewitz was misrepresenting a classified project, the Air Force fed him lies, leading him down a rabbit hole of strange and disturbing theories. Bennewitz's mental health eventually declined, and his story was a cautionary tale about the dangers of manipulating the truth. The psychological consequences of the UFO phenomenon are profound. The idea that people from other worlds visit us challenges our most deeply held beliefs about reality, our place in the universe and our own identity. To some, the idea is exciting, a sign that we are on the verge of a new world of discovery and understanding. To others it is terrifying, a threat to the established order and a hint of chaos. The government's approach to managing this psychological impact is highly regulated. By keeping people in the dark or feeding them a steady diet of facts and misinformation, they have been able to maintain a semblance of stability. But this strategy has created fertile ground for conspiracy theories, as people seek to fill in the gaps in their understanding with reason and fear. One of the most common conspiracy theories is the idea that the government is in contact with extraterrestrials and is hiding this information for nefarious purposes. Although there is little concrete evidence to support this claim, it is still widely followed, thanks to decades of secrecy and misunderstanding. As we continue to investigate the effects of UFOs, we must also consider the psychological impact of these revelations on humans. The discovery of extraterrestrial life was one of the most important turning points in human history. It challenges our understanding of biology, physics and astronomy, and forces us to rethink our place in the universe and our relationship with other life forms. In biology, the discovery of extraterrestrial life raises profound questions about the nature of life itself. Are world events a guide to the development of life, or are they caused by certain circumstances? If extraterrestrial life is similar to Earth, it could provide evidence for the theory of panspermia, the idea that life spreads around Earth via comets, asteroids and other celestial bodies.